3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1097. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting the subscribe button down below. My current goal is 300 subscribers, so if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome, and thank you very much for your support, as well as your presence during this reading. So somebody watching this video, this reading, may have been going through some sort of transformation, letting go of who you used to be and embracing more of who you actually are. It feels like you are living more honestly and authentically. And this is confirmation that whatever you did the right thing. Or if this is something you're currently doing, you're doing the right thing. And if this is something you have already done, again, you did the right thing. I want to say that the symbolism of like a spider or a snake could be significant, because a snake sheds its skin, spiders molt, which is also kind of like, in a snake where they shed their, is it the exoskeleton? I actually got that message from, having my own little spider friend, and she or he just molted. So I felt inspired to make that part of this reading. The idea of shedding the old and embracing the new, or something that has always been there but you never really embraced, I see spiders as symbols of creating something, building something. Maybe you had to let someone or something go and put trust in the idea that, for lack of a better way to say it, but the universe would make it better. You would be, whatever was lost would be replaced. So maybe you are building something. I'm feeling connected to the word construire, which I did feel connected to that same word in a reading recently. So that could be confirmation that this reading here is also meant for you. But it feels like your ancestors in particular are acknowledging something that you're building or creating. And a more specific message is trying to build a more stable, secure, predictable lifestyle, household, just way of living that makes you feel more safe and more secure. But it could also be something else. It could be both, something to do with home and something else. I just feel like whatever you're building, your ancestors support it. They support you, trying to feel safer and more secure, and your interest in investing in anyone that reflects what you deserve, what you're passionate about. Your ancestors very much want you to feel stable. They want you to survive, but they also want you to thrive, I think is a better way to say it. And I just saw the number 444 in the timer, which is connected to stability and your ancestors, so perfect timing. It really does feel like they're coming through to support you. right now. And maybe there's someone who has already passed on that could be on your mind, that in particular could be coming through, because this connection feels particularly strong. Someone on the other side, or many ancestors, are just really happy with, the decisions that you've made because they make you happy. So just know there's a lot of support on the other side for you. Of course, from other spirit guides too, but your ancestors in particular, like, hey, we're here, or I'm here, we're proud, I'm proud, and I'm happy for you. And I hope that that's a really beautiful message for somebody. But let's go ahead and get into talking about the number 1097. The number 1 is about trusting and believing in yourself, trusting your intuition, and believing in your strength. No matter who is watching this, you are feeling guided somewhere. You feel it intuitively. You feel it in your gut, instinctually. And you can trust that feeling, I feel, unironically. And however you have used your strength in any way at any time, it feels like your ancestors want you to know that they are so proud of you. There's something special about an ancestor or ancestors acknowledging your strength. It really gives this like human to human type of feeling. Like, I know life is hard, but I'm happy to see you still try and to keep going. It feels like it's worth it. It really does. The number 0 can be about recurring patterns or themes. Maybe for somebody here, you're getting a recurring message, and it may be important to pay attention to that. But these themes or these patterns could be in the form of spiritual communication, signs, as I said, messages, or in your own experiences. There is somebody here, there's definitely a reoccurring theme or reoccurring signs that you're seeing. And this is confirmation of what you're seeing, what you're feeling spiritually connected to. Someone here feels really spiritually in tune. Another way that the number 0 can be interpreted is guidance or confirmation of putting yourself first, building a stronger and healthier relationship with yourself, and making that journey with yourself a road, I want to say in an interesting way, a road to heaven instead of a road to hell. Now, I'm not Christian, but it's very obvious with the symbolism here. It could be literal for you if you're Christian, but at the very least there's symbolism of having the kind of relationship with yourself that brings you paradise in life rather than suffering and chaos. Moving on to the number 9. This number is about purpose and helping the world release what no longer works. And I really feel that there is someone here, probably more than one person though, who is feeling driven and guided, supported by a sense of purpose. And I love that for you, and you should, not to tell you how to feel, but you should be happy for yourself that you have that feeling, that drive, the ambition, the meaning, the reason, your why, why you do what you do. And I believe we all should have a reason like that, a sense of purpose based on what we have been through in life, what has brought us the most pain, the most fear. Now, because of my own journey, I only know how to find purpose through pain and fear. And I'm sure that message can resonate for so many people. But you might find a sense of purpose in another way. The very few people who had a normal childhood and still see things in the world and maybe feeling pained or scared by that. with the message of helping the world release what no longer works, just remember that whenever you walk away from someone or something that does not respect you and serve your highest good, well-being, just know that you are serving the greatest good of all by choosing to have a positive impact on yourself and ultimately on those around you. I pulled a card in a recent reading that said, you are bigger than yourself. Because in our human brain, we think like, oh, well, we only go as far as our, the barrier of our skin. Or, if that makes sense. Like, we're only our physical form. But no. It's vibrational. Whatever the Chanel word for frequency is, it's that too. You are bigger than yourself. And me, your ancestors, other spirit guides are very much with you while you are doing this important work. Whatever that looks like for you, it matters so much. And I just feel really happy for you, to be honest. But the last number, the number 7, is about, I'm really feeling stuck on the word purpose here. But the number 7 for me is about expanding your awareness and your consciousness, becoming wiser and connecting with the deeper meaning of yourself and this reality through wisdom, through awakenings, waking up to what you didn't know about yourself, about this reality. And maybe, somehow purpose ties into this. Waking up. I mean, to be honest, there is a mass spiritual awakening, so I wouldn't be surprised. But maybe this is just a sign or confirmation for you that you are most definitely not alone in this journey, this work, this fight. And just everything that you're doing matters. So keep awakening, keep learning, growing, and connecting with your soul, your spirit, your hope, your faith, your strength, and whatever higher power you believe in. And I saw the number 234 on the timer, which is a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason, which I think is really nice. Really, really nice to come through. What I'm feeling so strongly for you is to just trust in where you are right now and where you're going. If it doesn't make sense right now, and you keep moving, you stay on the same trajectory, I really believe that it will make sense in the future. Maybe the universe isn't ready to show you why you should trust that everything happens for a reason, whatever that reason is, or maybe it's not something for you to define. It's just about trust. And I just saw 321, another message, to trust that everything happens for a reason. I just saw the number 333. These are all on the timer, by the way. And the number 333 is about self-expression, communication, using your voice. I think that is something that so many of us are being called to do right now. Use your voice, share how you feel, share your journey, your story, and maybe somehow inspire others in a positive way. Number 3 can also be about healing and growing, confirmation of what you've already been doing, or what for you to keep doing. The last way I interpret the number 3 is commitment, and I feel like I am definitely talking to someone who is committed. And again, it feels like you are definitely on the right track. But adding up these numbers, 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 9 is 10, plus 7 is 17, 1 plus 7 is 8. And the number 8 is about loss, and trusting that whatever is lost will be replaced. I get this strong feeling of like a promise from the universe, your spirit guides, maybe your ancestors, that if you stay on the same track, everything that you had to let go will find its way back to you in another form, and then some. Whatever you had to let go, whoever you had to let go, trust that it will be replaced in a non-sentimental type of way. It's just so to allow yourself to look forward to what there still is to come. I think that's really, really important. Stay focused. Stay focused on the present. Keep the future in the back of your mind. Don't worry too much about it. As I do say, the future is the present. It's made right now. So it really, really just feels like a message to just keep doing what you've been doing. Because it feels like you're doing the right thing. Especially, like, it feels like it aligns with what you want, what you're looking for. So I just saw the number 555 on the timer. And this number is about change and transformation. So this could be confirmation of the transformation you already went through, that you're going through, that you will go through, or of some changes in your reality. Just this feeling of change. Maybe there's some conflict. Maybe there's something here about conflict. But anyways, as you can see on the table, there are 3 decks of cards. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot. This is the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. And this is the Secrets of Tarot. The Nightmare Before Christmas Tarot are only the major arcana cards. And I got a little bit distracted by the word tarocchi, which means tarot cards, or the tarot in Italian. And when I, feel connected to Italian phrases, words, whatever, it's connected to your ancestors. That's the intention that I set. And so it feels like whatever's going to come through here is particularly a message from your ancestors. There's a main idea, main event, long-term thing that your ancestors, it feels like your ancestors want to talk to you about. I'm going to use these major arcanas, like I just said, to look at whatever the bigger picture is, the long-term idea or theme. And then with the Secrets of Tarot over here, these are just the minor arcana tarot cards, and these are more just about like details, more immediate relationships or situations. And I'm going to use that to, get more detail about whatever this major arcana is about, whatever your ancestors want to talk about. And then I will finish up the reading with a card from the Ancestor Spirit Oracle card right there to see what's the last thing your ancestors would like to say. And I say it specifically as the last thing because it's very clear that whatever this message is, whatever the big idea, the main theme, is coming from past loved ones. And again, this could be someone that you knew in this life. I really wouldn't be surprised because of how strong this connection is. For somebody, this could be a mother. And this card just flew on the floor. So let's see what your ancestors, or mother has to say. So for you, I have the Judgment card. And I just felt like I wanted to say Ancestor Spirit Oracle. So obviously all of these cards are going to be connected, but there's something in particular about this Ancestor Spirit Oracle card being connected to this Judgment card. So I'll try to keep that in mind. Universe, remind me if I forget. You know me. If I do forget, maybe you can just ask in the comments. But yeah, we have Judgment. In reverse, it says low self-esteem, critical of self, too hard on self, lessons, forgive self. But this is in the upright. So I feel like your ancestor or ancestors, your mother, is acknowledging that you see things so much clearer now than you used to. You are seeing things so crystal clear. You're not, there's no fear, no darkness, no sadness, no anger that is clouding your judgment. I mean, I can tell that you have healed a lot. And for some reason, your ancestors, mother, wants you to know that you are seeing things so clearly right now. On this Judgment card, there is the number 20. 2 plus 0 is 2. And I see this number as confirmation of a significant relationship or situation that has been on your mind in this reading so far. So whoever needs extra confirmation that this could be from, a specific ancestor or ancestors on the other side, this is confirmation of whoever you're thinking about. And in my opinion, there's nothing more beautiful than loved ones wanting to come through and to just connect with you, because they really do love you. And they want to be there for you when you need them the most, when you need to be comforted. I also interpret the number 2 as confirmation or guidance to find peace and balance within yourself, and to really be mindful of the choices that you're making, so that you can ensure that you are truly choosing people and situations that actually mean the most to you, and maybe even align with whatever sense of purpose you are feeling. And I just saw the number 1, 2, 3 on the timer. Trust that everything happens for a reason. It feels like you are on the path to align with the right people in the right situations to bring you a life that is fulfilling and abundant. I really can't emphasize that enough. Let's go ahead and get more detail about what this Judgment card is actually about. Why are you guys, or why are you wanting the viewer or viewers to know that they're seeing things so clearly right now? I don't know if you can hear it, but there's an alarm clock going off in the background. And whenever I hear an alarm clock go off, it's usually a sign to pay attention, because, alarms bring your attention to something. And so that's how I feel that. So we got to pay attention to whatever this detail is about you seeing things more clearly. And I have the Knight of Pentacles here. This is a person. It says efficient, hard work, routine, diligence, perseverance, relentless, messenger, news. We also have the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, and the element of Earth. The artist of this card wrote young man to 25 years. That doesn't have to resonate for everybody, but more specific confirmation whoever it does resonate for. It also says visitors, message to share. Definitely feeling ancestral visitors here. Let me tell you, and it does feel like they have a message for you. The Knight of Pentacles is a hard-working, patient, ambitious person. They have the fire and the drive that they need to invest in something long-term to get the results that they want. So whatever potential you feel with something that you're working hard on, it's real. That's what this feels like this is about. It feels like encouragement for you to keep on whatever path you're on, whatever you're working on, whatever you're trying to build or create. Did I say the word construire? Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to this Ancestor Spirit Oracle card. I saw another sign about trusting that everything happens for a reason. Remember, this one is more connected to the Judgment card here. Let's see what we got. Whenever you're ready. Wow. This is pretty powerful. It says, awaken your inner shaman. Connect, invoke, and heal. There's really something powerful about your ability to heal yourself and to even heal others. Hey, this could even be a message for myself. Because, got the whole trying to build a business thing. And it's hard. It takes a lot of work, a lot of patience, which is exactly the kind of person, the Knight of Pentacles type of energy that something like this needs. I kind of feel called to read from the guidebook, because intuitively I feel like I'm not picking up on enough to be able to justify ending this reading yet. So let me go ahead and turn to the page. Well, that was quick. I found it. As we said, the card says connect, invoke, and heal. The book says, for the two winds, every part of nature, every rock, river, mountain, animal, and tree has a spirit, story, and purpose. They also hold great respect for the souls of their ancestors. nomadic cattle herders who live in yurts. The Tuvans have lived in southern Siberia for thousands of years. As providers of healing, wisdom, ritual, and divination, the shaman is central to Tuvan society. Shamans walk between worlds to communicate with spirits and provide answers and guidance for the community. Protectors of the earth and guardians of nature, each shaman chooses an apprentice from within the family. Thus, shamanic knowledge is shared and preserved through the ages. I just looked at the timer, saw the number 111. So whatever you've heard from this book so far and it's resonating with you, trust yourself and believe in your ability to know what's meant for you and what isn't. The Ancestors Speak portion says, the path of the shaman calls to you. Focus your connection with the earth, animals, and nature spirits. Whoever you are, or wherever you come from, the shamanic way is open to you. Shamans can be male or female and come from many cultures around the world. A healer, seer, or shaman in your ancestry may have passed their gift or special knowledge to you. This would be particularly interesting if the person on your mind who may have already passed on was also into this, spiritual stuff. If you do not know your family lineage, dig deep and ask the universe to help you discover your ancestor spirits. There could be something significant here about Ukraine. Continue to connect with the earth, nature, and animal spirits, and you will uncover your ancestral link. You can then tap into this spiritual knowledge and further develop your gifts. And the divinatory meaning, it says, you are a natural healer and hold the ability to connect to the restorative light of the universe for yourself and others. Exactly what I said about healing for yourself and others. It is time to embrace or further your healing path. You have been using these gifts for a long time, over many lifetimes. Each person heals in their own way. You may use words, your hands, or energy, or to nurture others. Explore different aspects and modalities of the healing arts, such as massage, Reiki, or something that opens you as a channel for rejuvenating energy. You can use anything you learn to benefit yourself and others. When you are healing others, surround yourself with golden light so you don't become drained. And I want to point out the idea of spreading yourself with golden light. Everybody has their own idea of protection, so if that whole golden light idea doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. You can do something else. I am being reminded, though, of the Ancestor Spirit Oracle card that says Psychic Strength, and it says Golden Light on it, I believe. So perhaps, protecting yourself in a way that feels right for you spiritually, energetically, maybe protecting your frequency, that might help you tap into your gift or gifts more. It says, when you are ready, invoke the healing energy of the shaman and pass your knowledge on to others. So it's very clear here that someone feels called to heal, which I think is very fitting for this idea of how clearly you're seeing things. And maybe what you need to hear is that your intuition is strong. So whatever you're working hard on, especially if it's relating to healing others or, just somehow bringing more light into this world, I really, really encourage you to trust yourself, especially because there is so much ancestral energy here. I do feel that if you don't have access to something or someone that you want, at least not yet, trust that that's happening for a reason. Trust the path that you are on and where this is all headed.